But if you are a gym rat in the morning and a lecturer during the day and a runner in the afternoon, quitting becomes the only indispensable option. But let me tell you a secret. It was not an option for me. Guys, guess what? I have registered for a full marathon. Since I am in Malaysia, so I thought why not to avail this opportunity and run a full marathon at Penang Bridge. So this is Penang Bridge International Marathon. I've never run more than 10 kilometers in my life. I'm not sure how I am going to do it, but I will try. I will try my level best. At that time, I couldn't foresee what I was about to experience. I thought it would be like any other physical challenge that I somehow would manage. I never expected that it would test my limits in ways I could never have imagined. Eventually, I understood that this sport is different from training in the gym. I just had 3 months and I had to work a lot merely to stand gracefully at the finish line. Forget about completing the marathon in 3 hours, 4 hours or 5 hours. The biggest challenge for me among many was that I never ran more than 10 kilometers in my life. And on top of it, I was 14 kgs overweight, which still I am. Completed my 7 kilometers today. Finally kicked off my marathon training journey. I did some preliminary research on how to run a marathon, and I came to know that I need to bring variety to my run. I need to do different types of runs, like tempo interval. I don't know much about them, but I will explore them further. At the same time, I also need to work on my mileage. Let's say I'm doing 30 to 35 kilometers per week, which I need to increase to 40, 45 to 50 kilometers a week. Quite a lot, right? But if I need to run a marathon gracefully, I need to do that. Along the way, I also discovered two fascinating concepts: tempo run and interval run. Before that, I had this idea that running exists only in two forms: either you stride or you jog. Guys, this interval run is fun. Sprinting and then walking and sprinting. This is a new thing for me, but I'm enjoying it. So while I was enjoying the highs of my tempos and interval runs, the moment I crossed my 10th kilometer, it was a whole new world for me. The feeling that I had after my 10th kilometer, I had never had that before. This is the first time I've completed my 10th kilometer mark. Wow. This is a whole new world. To be honest, your whole world revolves differently. Your heart beats differently. 10 kilometers in, my body was already in a shock. Little did I know that something far more serious was about to happen. Look at this, guys. I came back from the gym in the morning and I had my breakfast. As soon as I finished my breakfast, I started feeling temperature in my body, and my whole body, started paining. And you can see still, you know, I went to the clinic and I was given medicine. And the doctor, he's saying it seems like influenza because I'm also feeling cold. At that time, I felt so helpless. The suffering caused by the physical pain was one thing, but another form of suffering was coming from a much deeper place, and that was the realization that I was unable to do what I was doing. I've started walking again. Haven't fully recovered yet, but the good thing is I'm finally out. I'm not feeling anything. I mean, I'm not feeling any illness, but I'm not feeling okay either. It's a very strange kind of feeling, right? Like I have this feeling that my body is not functioning the way it does. Also got my blood report done yesterday, and there appeared a very obvious decline in my white blood cells count. And the doctor was like, it's because your shield, your body's armor to fight a disease. So the first thing that is affected is the white blood cells count. But he was optimistic. He was like, you are on the way of recovery. My last run before my flu was of 22 kilometers. But when I started again after recovering from my illness, even 5 kilometers distance was impossible. So I've started running again today. The condition is not so good. I'm feeling like I've started running again from scratch. I will not run a lot today. I'll just try to complete 5 kilometers just to restart again my marathon training. Oh wow, I couldn't even complete 2 kilometers, and I felt like my legs are dead. And don't ask me about my heart condition. My heart is beating so fast. But anyway, I will not stop. I'll complete the rest of the distance walking. That moment marked a turning point in my marathon journey. Having just a few weeks and having to start all over again, it was much easier for me to give up, blaming my illness. But giving up was never really an option. I resumed very cautiously with a plan, with a jog walk strategy. And within a week, I was back on my feet. To cross the finish line gracefully, I knew I had to complete at least 37 kilometers in my training. I was just left with 3 weeks before the taper week, and my plan was to build gradually, like 28, 32, and 37. 37. The journey that started with this desire to complete this marathon in less than 4 hours had finally come to its end with the hope to complete it gracefully. But whatever it was, I was happy that the day had finally come. The race day for which I was working like anything through all the ups and downs.
Have a good warm up before you go for your race. Do your check. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Almost 20. I completed my first marathon in 4 hours and 53 minutes. Technically, it was a sub 5 marathon. I was happy for completing it gracefully. And that is the only thing I would remember about the first marathon of my life. This marathon taught me things I wouldn't have learned otherwise. For example, believe in the possibility of dramatic shift, even when everything seems set in stone. Life becomes truly joyful when we focus on the present without being weighed down by the past or being anxious about the future. Just like in running, being fully present on our feet brings the joy of moving forward, the thrill of crossing the finish line, and the creation of memories worth looking back on. The quality we bring to each moment shapes our future, and once lived, it becomes our past. It always teaches the fleeting nature of hardships. Difficult moments always pass. What lasts is not the pain itself, but how we respond to it. In the end, holding steadfast to the challenging yet right path is the only way to free ourselves from the torment of a bitter past and the meaningless worries of an uncertain future.